My name's Mario Macarone and I am the co-founder and owner of Mario's Cafe in Brunswick Street, Fitzroy. We opened in April of 1986 and I was 24 years old.
But please don't try to understand me, please don't try on certain ways.
Fortunately, Mario's was successful from the beginning. We knew what was needed and we knew how to achieve it. We had lots of industry experience. We'd worked in fine dining restaurants and Melbourne was starved of bottom-end restaurants or cafes to dine in. We chose Fitzroy. We thought Fitzroy was a great place. I had friends in Fitzroy. I'd worked in a place up the street. The area was not only full of artists, but it was really an alternative lifestyle area. There was a fairly significant gay community, transgender community, and back in the mid-80s, it was much more challenging than it is today. And we embraced all these people and encouraged single diners, which was also kind of strange back in those days. And women could come in on their own and sit on their own and have a bowl of pasta, read a paper or a magazine and not feel out of sorts.
Really care if it matters to you, it happens to. Ow! It matters to me too.
Back in the mid-80s, alcohol was only really available in pubs or hotels. So in the early years of Mario's, there was no alcohol. Kind of worked for us in those days, but we were amongst the first people in the first cafes in Melbourne to get a liquor license, and that became a game changer for us. And it was the beginning of putting Melbourne on the map from a culinary point of view.
If you really care.
Well, from the beginning, the staff were key. Very important, and for the front of house particularly, we were looking for like-minded people who were, ready to embrace the sort of democratic and accessible and accepting kind of environment that we wanted to create. Of course, you need chefs who know how to cook. That's a big part of it too. My biggest influence would be my business partner, Mario Di Pasquale. Having two Marios owning a cafe, calling it Mario's seemed a very logical thing. I'm pretty sure he'd probably say the same thing about me. Well, we've always stuck to our principles and we, never bought into fads. We've always had full cream milk here. We did, after a number of decades, move to soy to have alternative to full cream milk. And when we started, of course, there was no technology, and we choose to keep it that way. And I think our audience likes the fact that we don't walk around with iPads or there's no computers in the building, and the waiters use pen and paper, which I think people like. We've never taken bookings at Mario's. It's always been in the ethos here that we treat everyone the same. Nobody's any worse off than anybody else. Famously, we refused American comedian Jerry Seinfeld a booking, and that ended up making news all over the world. I was doing interviews with the New York Times and the BBC in London. It's just the way we run. Well, the key to remaining relevant is consistency. That is with the food and the service, and I believe that that's held us in good stead over the last 40 years. Well, we're a community-orientated cafe. Community around us is very important. We've had art on the walls now since the late 80s, so we have an exhibition goes up every 3 weeks. And I think that's one of the key things with local artists being hung within the place.
It happens to. It matters to me too.
I'm tremendously proud of what we've been able to achieve here at Mario's over the last 40 years. I have one motto, and it's very important to me, and it's to be good to the customers, to be good to our suppliers, and most of all, to be good to our staff.
You've called Mario's. We're open from 8 a.m. through till 10 p.m, 7 days a week. If you'd like to view the menu, you may do so online at marioscafe.com.au. We do not take bookings. If you'd like to leave a message, you may do so after the tone.
Last met in September. It was so unexpected. Little did I know or have detected your love.